So what was the social trigger? Rami was talking about that, the weapons are there, the militants are there. What is the social trigger? Violence to sustain itself at a ground level, sociologically, it requires social animosity. It requires a social trigger. What is the social trigger?
I am born and grown up in my state, Manipur. In fact, I was born in a place called Moirang. Moirang is inhabited by our Meitei brothers and sisters. So I know the Meitei people, I think, quite well. They are very good people. Their hearts are full of emotion and love. I would say that the Meiteis are very good-hearted people, because since I was born, I have associated with them. As people, I know them, and I think they also know me. But the thing is, as I listen to panelists, some people are very communal, even some learned people. They indulge in blaming communities. Till today, I refrain myself from blaming communities, because today what is happening is it has been aggravating day after day. Once again, let me come back. This is not something which cannot be solved. Yes, of course, it has reached such a magnitude. Though I love the Meitei friends, my friends, they are like my family members. But I cannot go back and stay in their house today, which is very painful for me. And media, the state media, which also indulges in communalism, this has to stop. And we look for the national media, which would take the middle path and then try, and then that is going to also help. Another thing is, the central government and the state government, if these two really want peace in Manipur, in the northeastern region and in the country, they can do it. For example, if the government thinks that one group is stronger than the other, and then start arming the other one, and then when the other group becomes little weaker, again you support the other one, so that you balance. That means you want them to keep on fighting and kill one another and finish. This is something which is dangerous, not only for the Manipur, not only for the northeast, but for the whole country. And it is time for the government. The government cannot afford to play with the lives of the northeastern people, to play with the lives of the people in Manipur. Let me be very frank. Let me be very open. I think it is too much now. Because, yes, there are clashes in UP, in many other states. Why should it take 25 to 30 days for the government to open its eyes? And the state government, the leadership has failed completely in its administration. If the center really had wanted that as escalation and destruction in the state must come to a stop, it could have taken action. And the state leadership...
Point which is so close to my heart, Madam Kim, you made such an important point which is so close to my heart, and that is communalization of journalistic narrative, where you tend to blame communities rather than people, when you tend to make it into a pure community versus community issue. I will take this question to Professor Amarjeet. Professor Amarjeet, is that the real issue, that we have started to blame communities rather than people involved behind the violence? and saying that this is a nationalist community, this is a non-nationalist community, this is a pro-India community, this is an anti-India community, rather than going out against those individuals who are instigators and participants in the violence. And what we end up doing in the narrative is we start talking about communities. Is that where the problem is, sir?
Sir, you see, what is happening in the state, uh, in the last 1 month, uh, we have, it is a, it's not a very easy to explain and to, this violence, because there are, political motive behind this violence. Say, for example, what is happening is that in 2015, the Manipur Legislative Assembly passed three bills, and that particular bills also became very, very problematic, especially in the Kuki inhabited areas of Manipur. And likewise, what is happening in today is also the problem started from again from that same particular area. So therefore, what we have been seeing is that there is a this is what I see as also a one of the strategy to uh, to make the the movement for what is known as this separate administration from Manipur. And I think this incidents and this violence that has been going on, and it's very, very much related, because now this is a
Are you saying that
the
the are you
some
saying that
group.
separate administration has become fundamental to the conversation? Are you saying that, sir?
Yes, yes. Now this violence, and now what happening is that now the communities have been wiped out from the in say from the Imphal areas. Some the communities have already been driven out, and then again from the hill areas, especially like Surachandpur, More, or from Kangpopi, the Meiteis have been already been driven out. So therefore, this issue of land, and then this the demand for the self administration or a separate administration, I think this is the reason behind this the ongoing conflict. And now what is happening, especially in the foothills, is that this is again about the struggle for the control over land now, and some groups are trying to push some people out of a particular area. That is exactly what is happening in the especially in the foothill in the foothills. So this is what is very, very disturbing at this point of time.